we're finally back. I'm sorry, I know I said mid-January, it's now nearly the end of February. We got there eventually, but we have been waiting for something very special to launch this podcast this year, and it finally came.
I thought it was going to be me.
Headphones. You're always here. We're always here. We're
needy.
classic friendly faces.
Yeah.
But the Microsoft Surface headphones are arrived, so we're not only going to unbox those today, we're going to play some games for you guys.
I'm excited, Hannah.
There have been so many long-awaited games from E3 that we've talked about a lot. We're going to play them, Fletcher's going to play them, and I'm going to be unbearable
we'll
to
make
watch,
you play
probably.
One.
We'll see how we go. So we've got a huge lineup for today. We are going to play Hellblade Senua Sacrifice.
Yeah. Crackdown 3.
And
Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Not Rise, Shadow.
Thank you. You looked at me and you're like, you're going to get it wrong.
You got this.
You're going to get it wrong.
But that's super exciting, and all three of those games have a common theme. They are now on Game Pass.
Game Pass.
So I'd love to go out and buy every single game that comes out, but I don't have that much money, and I don't think work would let me claim those expenses.
I must have this as a part of my job. Sounds suspicious.
All these great games that we do play for you are from Game Pass, which I think shows, we harp on about this all the time, but
Absolutely.
It shows that value.
$10.95 a month here in New Zealand, and that value for money, we've gone on and on and on about it and what's available, but check out the games that we're going to play.
100%. Since we've had Game Pass, we've played 3 AAA games on release, so that is
State of Decay 2, Forza Horizon 4, and Sea of Thieves.
And Sea of Thieves, and now we're playing Crackdown 3.
So
that's
absolutely.
for New Zealand dollars, that's about $500 if we had brought that, and we haven't even had it for a year.
That's crazy.
That's pretty ridiculous to break down, right?
Instant value for money.
And so we're going to get into those. We'll make Hannah play one. I think we'll do Crackdown 3. I think Senua Sacrifice.
I want to play it.
Yeah,
you want to play Senua Sacrifice, that's the one you've been waiting for.
And I kind of want to play Tomb Raider 2 as well. I want to get into those narrative games.
So just to let you guys know, we are going to do it a little bit differently this time. We're not going to bring you along the ride of the gameplay. We're going to play the game and give our little reviews on it. If you like that format, please do let us know. If you prefer watching the struggle that is me playing a game, also let us know. But let's launch into it with the first game.
If you do think Hannah's gotten better at aiming and shooting as well, comment below and give us some mad props for being dedicated.
All that Fortnite is playing on. All right.
I'll stop derailing. Let's get into
launch into the games. Hellblade Senua Sacrifice. This, Fletch, I know this was a game that you were looking forward to. As soon as it was announced at E3, it was something that you already kind of knew about. I'd never seen it before. The trailer is amazing.
Yes, Hellblade Senua Sacrifice got me interested straight away, purely because of the period that it's set in. So, for those of you who don't know, I studied history and sociology because I thought that was the right thing for me at university. And
one semester it wasn't for him anymore.
I'm done. But I still love history, right? And that's what made me want to do it. So as soon as I found out that this was set back in the Dark Ages, so when there wasn't much recorded history, kind of between Rome occupying England and the Normans coming and invading, for anyone who's interested in history, I thought that was awesome because that means it's still got a lot of the Celtic roots that Britain's known for, which is to me just a mysterious kind of culture to really get to understand, and that made me really excited about the game. Just turning this into a history podcast while we're at it.
Fun facts with Fletch. So we have played this game, and I want to talk about 3 key things that I enjoyed about the game before I give my overall review of how I found the game. So I didn't play it, I just watched Fletch. So I'll let Fletch talk about how it was to actually play and stuff. But the first thing that hands down you can't not notice is how amazing the graphics are. They're super intense. Senua has these really intense, bright blue eyes, and it's such an immersive and cinematic game, and it's very much you're following such an intense story, which is very, very cool. So, and following on with that intense story, the second thing that I did really like is that when you're kind of going in through the opening sequence, it comes up with a screen giving you two things. First one is actually a warning, because the game does deal with a character experiencing psychosis. So it tells you a little bit about that and what to expect and sort of any trigger warnings and things like that, which I think is a very responsible way to deal with something like that. And then the other thing, and my third favourite thing, is that it tells you then and there that this game is best experienced with headphones in. And that's no joke. A lot is going on. So tell us how you found the gameplay.
Yeah, so I loved it. I love narrative games, as we've kind of established on this podcast. Like, story-driven games are my jam. So in terms of gameplay, like, I found that it hooked you in incredibly well. So going through the opening scene is very much like a movie credits, for which is perfect, considering you very much are put into Senua's perspective. And you're almost like one of the voices that are going on in Senua's head, if that makes sense, which is really, really cool. The actual controls and stuff are all real smooth. It's easy, really easy to play, if I'm honest. When it came to like, it did a really good job at introducing you to a lot of the different buttons you'll require without making it like a really tedious tutorial. So in the past, in some games, like, they really make it obvious that it's a tutorial. This, they kind of talk to you as if you're in the game, and then you really figure out the button as you go.
Like, you know what you're doing already. And as you said, like, for anyone who's played games before, all of the controls are pretty like natural and native to a game like that.
100%. It's all native. I really, really love just the way it immerses you into the whole story. I love, like Hannah said, with those 3D sound effects, wearing headphones is amazing, because even through the whole intro scene, you're on a log with a little hollowed out seat, just
so
going
great.
for a river.
It looks like you're in a boat, and then you're just chilling on a log.
Chilling on a log.
Sitting on a log with your little skull strapped to you.
And then going for it. And when you've got the headphones on, you can hear all these voices going around, and it kind of, gives you the impression that the skull Hannah mentioned that's on the back of Senua, that's on her belt, is someone that she knew in real life, and is going to be a key part of the story. That even, like, as you're zooming in and around Senua, at one point you can see, like, the bag that the skull's in expand and contract like it's breathing, and you can hear all the voices that are going on in Senua's head. You can hear all the whispers coming around you as she's going through this, like, psychotic breakdown. It's very intense, but I really, really enjoyed it. I think a lot of people who have probably played narrative games like BioShock and stuff, which go really into that kind of into kind of a head stuffing scenario. I have to keep this PG podcast. It's really awesome. It's very psychological thriller. Even when you get to combat and stuff, it's pretty easy to figure out the controls, and they introduce you in like a scenario which is safe but still immerses you in the story. You're fighting these really like fey enchanted kind of creatures which are creepy as hell. And really suit the genre. I think it's a great game to go and experience. I haven't finished it yet because we had other games to play, but I don't feel like it's going to be an incredibly long game. It's not what I would call a traditional AAA. It's still a bit more of an indie game, but it's a really amazingly built indie game, which will give you like you'll just have a great time.
And I've got to say, and I've just got to be honest with you guys, for everything I loved about the game, personally, I hated it. I absolutely hated this game because I thought it was terrifying. I hate horror movies, I hate getting a fright, I hate feeling tense, and this game was so immersive that personally, I felt sick.
I think
I was genuinely terrified, and I think that says something about the game and something about me as a person as well. But it was so it was so much, it was so much having all of the voices with stereo headphones in. It was so much having that, and as I said, I was just watching, and you can kind of just there's a point where you fight people and you're going to lose. And I thought it was terrifying, and I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. But I'm dying to know what happens. I asked Fletch as soon as he got to work, and I said, have you played more? What happened? I'm dying to know what happens in the game, and I want to know. But I think for me, I want somebody else to tell me. I don't think I could last actually playing that game. I think that I'd be too scared.
I think, and for every reason that Hannah dislikes it is the reasons that I love it, which is really funny. One thing that I haven't mentioned, we both haven't mentioned, which I actually really have to, is Senua engages with you as a viewer directly.
Easily the worst part, but the best part,
amazing.
Right? Right at you, and you're not sure if she's talking to you, and those bright blue eyes that I mentioned, yuck, terrifying, immersive, amazing. I don't know how to feel about it. All I know is that I still feel uncomfortable even talking about it now.
So good.
But a very well constructed game, a beautiful graphic game. The sound is terrifying but amazing. The amount of effort gone to kind of get that full stereo surround, to get that full effect, to make me feel the way I did is no easy thing.
I think they've just poured all the graphical love into the characters and stuff, and that's where it belongs, and that's what makes the game.
Absolutely, an amazing game if you're not a total wuss like me.
A vision.
I'm so excited that we are finally talking about Crackdown 3. As you guys know, it's been a very long time in the making. We're not going to talk about that now because it is here. It is finally here, and not only is it here and available to play, but it is available on Game Pass.
Whoa.
My favourite thing, Game Pass.
And it was quite cool. I took the back seat on this one, Hannah. And let you take the reins, which I think you had a lot of fun.
Mildly unbearable to watch. I did. I loved it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm a huge fan of Terry Crews. I think that he is hilarious. The work he's done in promoting this game is awesome, and his character Jackson in the game is Terry Crews. So very, very cool. I think the graphics in this game are super dope.
They surprised me. I'm gonna be honest, because from the trailers and stuff, because like Hannah said, it's been in the books for so long. The trailers, over time, the graphics has changed on it, and I didn't think the graphics were going to be that good. I'm just going to put it out there. I thought they were going to be pretty crap, if I'm honest. But as soon as I'm just brutal honest. But as soon as Hannah started it, that's something that I straight away was looking for. And I was hella impressed. For the clear
really
cartoon
cool
style, great graphics.
Yeah, and all of the neon lights and stuff like that. It's very similar and just an immersive game. I love bright colours. I love neon lights. I'm very much a city person, so having that cityscape to play in is great. Unlike Fletcher, I'm not a story-driven person. I'm a let's skip the instructions and go straight in. So Fletcher's very patient and kind watching me try and play this game. As you can see, my shooting aim is atrocious, but I got along with punching people quite well. So a lot of fun things. This game was pretty easy to pick up. I definitely, personally, should have put the difficulty settings right down the bottom. But I went all in, and it was a lot of fun. It was an easy game to kind of get a hang of and get used to. I think that, while it is an open world game, there were still some very clear challenges and things that we had to do. So, for me, you guys know I'm not much of a gamer. It's something that I'm slowly learning and getting used to. So I found a fault in some games that, sure, I like hooning around and being able to do whatever I want to do in the game, but if there's no set thing for me to do, you do that for 5 minutes and then your interest is gone. So this is really well structured it being a nice balance in between. You can go off track, you can explore, you can jump, you can climb, you can shoot, you can punch, you can throw stuff, you can do all kinds of things, but the game does keep you relatively on track throughout that process too.
Absolutely. I think when you're looking at it, it is actually the opposite of what Hellblade Senua Sacrifice is.
Yeah.
Which is a great thing, and like Hannah said, it's you don't have to really go hard and deep into the story on this game, but you also can if you want to. Like, there's definitely a story, and it's been established over the last 2 Crackdowns as well, so if you're a fan of those games, you can carry on largely with the story that came from that. But I view this as it's another style of game I do actually really like, because I can still immerse myself in that story, but I see it as one of those games which is almost a relaxing game to play. So there's games that are, super realistic, you know, like hunter games, or stuff like Dark Souls, which they're built around realism, and Crackdown's definitely not built around realism. So if you were a fan of games like Sunset Overdrive, where you can just go out there, you can be ridiculously powerful, you can be otherworldly powerful, you can just have fun causing chaos, you're gonna love it. Even Just Cause 3 fans, Just Cause 4, you're gonna love a game like Crackdown 3. So definitely a great game to pick up over a weekend. And
absolutely, a great game to play online with your mates. Really nice and easy to get used to. Definitely another one that I'm going to pick up and play a little bit more, and hopefully I'll be a better shooter by the end of it.
But if you attack an enemy, looks like your shield will recharge even faster. I guess the agency likes to reward aggressive action.
What another game that I've been dying to play and it's just come available on Gamepass.
So we sat next to each other in a cinema for E3. You can go back to our E3 video to check that out. But the whole time Fletcher was just like, write down this one, this one, is it coming to Game Pass? I can't wait to play it. So this has just come to Game Pass. All 3 games we've played for you guys today have been on Game Pass, which is super cool. So for here in New Zealand, $10.95 a month. Just to give it a go, you can try all of these 3 games in a month, which is crazy cool.
Absolutely. So there's something you noticed about Shadow of the Tomb Raider straight away?
The graphics. I know that this is almost like a cop-out I have every time, but I don't have a 4K TV. Fletcher does. We play these games at Fletcher's house, and I thought Senua Sacrifice was amazing. We played it in the order that we put them in the podcast, so we played this game last. And I was even more blown away by the graphics in this game. You can tell, I think, the difference, as Fletch said, Senua Sacrifice is more of kind of an indie game, and this is like your real, full-blown AAA title. Of course, it's a massive franchise, both in game and in film, that's been around for a really long time, so you can tell that it's had that kind of financial backing, if you will, to be such an epic and awesome game. And I think I'm not going to steal this all from you, Fletch, because you were the one being the pilot this time around. But I think that what we both liked about this was that even though it is very story driven, some of the story parts you could have a little bit more control over, and you were brought in along those story points in time.
100%. So I think the most natural game to compare it to is Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice from the ones we played today. And with Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice really immersed you, when Senua actually directly looked at you and stuff. Shadow of the Tomb Raider immerses you, but it does it in a different way. So it is this to me is a quintessential cinematic experience in a game, because there was even a movie based directly on this game that came out, and like Hannah said, the first time you actually control Lara Croft is when you are the plane's just crashed. We've seen that happen. She's trapped under some rocks, and you have to pry the rocks off her leg, right? So even though it's a cutscene, you're interacting in that cutscene, and then as she's climbing out of that gap, you're interacting with that as well. So to me, it's really exciting to be able to interact in those cinematic scenes.
And I find like just little nuggets and things like that, especially, you know, that they have to have time to set the game up to give you a little bit of a story. So getting you interacting and involved that early on, I think, is really important. Especially for people like me, right? Like, we all know that I'm impatient and I want to get straight to it.
Yeah.
So if that was kind of all cutscene and I had to wait a solid 20 minutes before getting started in a game, I'm probably going to hand the controller over and leave it. So
Absolutely.
very, very cool to kind of, and like a good way to train what the controls are and what they do, and those simple sorts of things as well.
100%. And so I probably was more invested coming into this game than I was with Crackdown 3, even though I really want to go back and play that. But
Yes.
I've followed the Tomb Raider franchise quite a bit, and you know, you can definitely see how this has evolved beyond Rise of the Tomb Raider. So Rise of the Tomb Raider was very similar in that it engaged you in those cinematic aspects, but this game kind of goes back a little bit more to some of the Tomb Raider's roots in, you know, Central and Southern America. But it also is the first game where you kind of can interact with a large civilian populace, which is really weird, right? But so straight after we've gone through this whole tunnel system, we've found this knife which is surrounded by these murals of the apocalypse, which is about to happen. So very much like the Mayan 2012 incident. You go
Still here.
Didn't happen. You go into this town, and it's obviously the Day of the Dead, and it's really cool how you can talk to people, you can talk to kids. You have Jonah, I believe it is, who's walking along with you, and you're starting to, you know, get more immersed into what the story is, which is you're tracking this corporation which are doing all these archaeological digs. But I really enjoyed that. You can see that natural progression throughout the whole series, where you can see they're constantly striving to get better and make it more immersive, and make it be able to almost like more lifelike, right? So
because Rise of the Tomb Raider came out about 2015.
Yeah, definitely.
And I
I've
think,
lost track, but
believe it or not, I did actually play that game. And even like the graphics between then and now, like I think it says so much about what the film industry and the gaming industry and all of those graphic things, how much has changed in such a short amount of time. So even in the next 5 years, like, what are the games going to look like?
100%. What are they going to look like? Besides that, it holds really true to a lot of the other Tomb Raider things. So you can craft your medicine, you can craft grenades, you can hide and ambush people. You don't have to go like really direct into combat. It's not like Crackdown, it's more realistic. So when there's like 5 people shooting at you, it's actually pretty hectic. It's pretty hectic. So, but it's really, really good fun. I love the Tomb Raider series, and I'm really looking forward to playing more of this. I want to clock all these games, but I'll probably start with Tomb Raider and then go to Senua's Sacrifice and give that a good run through. So check it out, guys. Get Game Pass, like Hannah said, and play these games.
I'm so excited to finally get my hands and unbox the Microsoft Surface headphones. I've done many Surface unboxings in my time, but this one's a little bit different. I think, you know, going from the Pro 6 to the laptop to the Book 2 to the Studio, all of the amazing, the Go as well, how could I forget the little old Go? All of those amazing Surface devices, all of the amazing accessories that go with them. This is such a welcome addition to the family, and as soon as you take that lid off, you can feel how premium this is. It's in a really nice carry case and that natural platinum surface color with the Microsoft logo on it. Super lush, super premium. Let's unzip and see them. I've heard nothing but good things about this, and they are beautiful. What I like about this from an instant opening point is that you can see that they swivel, so I know that I can have that functionality and they're not just sitting like that at all times. That is, you know, should maybe be a given, but maybe not. And something else I like is I've heard a lot about the touch controls on the Surface headphones, but I'm not quite sure what they are and how to use them. So it tells you how to answer a call, decline a call, play, pause, and my favorite thing is that when you're listening to music, it's giving you a previous and a next. I think that is a must-have on a keyboard, so having that on your headphones is super awesome and great for just the general usability. You also get a USB-C charging cable in the box. These guys do have 15 hours of battery life, so that is between here and Canada, my usual Vancouver flight is 13 hours, so that'll go the distance, which is great. And it also has an auxiliary cable in there as well. It's got, really easy to see power, mic mute, auxiliary jack, and your USB-C charging. Let's turn these on, let's pair them to something and give them a go. I cannot wait. So excited.
I know you're excited
to finally have these. I think that this has probably been the product of the year that I've gone on and on and on about mercilessly, and I'm so excited, and they definitely have not disappointed. I forced Fletcher to let me take them out of the box, and then I rapidly paired them to my phone faster than he could pair them to his, so I could test them out. And the feel of them is amazing. They do feel very comfortable on. We're going to try some things to show you guys soon. In terms of those swipe commands, and the touch commands, should I say, sorry. I think having touch commands for Bluetooth headphones is a revelation, and I don't know why I didn't think of its existence before.
Yeah, that was one thing I was really curious about these. We've rapidly been learning about them as we've videoed the product, because this is literally the first time we've gotten hands-on with them, and those touch commands, they fill a little bit of a gadgety need for the headphones.
Absolutely, and I know what a privileged whinge this is, but if I have my Bluetooth headphones connected, I don't want to have to reach into my pocket to answer the phone. So being able to give it a tap or a hold to answer or decline, I think is amazing.
Yeah, and I don't know if we don't know if they've been on headphones before, but as far as we know, in our kind of interaction with the headphone world, it's the first.
And I think that, what's so cool about these, they are designed for, both conference calls and things like that, phone calls, whatever, as well as being just great overall headphones for listening to music, watching shows, all of those kinds of things. And I think, personally, this is what I've been waiting for. This is what I need in my life. I already have a great pair of in-ear Bluetooth headphones. Love them. They're really good. But if I have both of them in, they're so noise cancelling that when I try and talk, I can't actually hear myself. So I think I actually just yell at people over the phone by mistake because they're so noise cancelling.
Yeah, sorry, I'm interrupting you this time.
No, I've been doing a lot of talking. You deserve to have your say, Fletch.
Just as we've been talking this time around, we've talked about it a little bit off camera as well. I think that's kind of how they fit in really well with the Surface family overall, though. They
absolutely
not only do they look good, they've got amazing design, but it kind of gives you the power to do more, right?
Absolutely.
Because of all those commands, because you can just twist the end of it and turn the volume up. By the way, I started them because I'm like, damn, this feels really nice to do.
So I clearly haven't actually touched them yet.
That feels so smooth.
Amazing. So there's the inner circle of the headphones, if you would like to point. So that part there is your touch surface. So as I said in the unboxing, it does give you those commands really easily in the packaging, which I think is amazing, because if you didn't know what those were, you would never actually use them, and you'd never get the most out of these headphones. So knowing that from the beginning is awesome. But you can also change volume.
That's so satisfying.
Right from there. It's amazing, right?
Yeah.
Literally what I'm seeing in this product is the Surface dial adapted for something else.
Very true.
That's if you touch a Surface dial, that's exactly how it feels. When you rotate them. So I think that's really cool.
And
when we were unboxing them, I had a really dumb moment. It comes with a charging cable and an auxiliary cable, and I literally said to Fletcher, why is there an auxiliary cable? I don't understand.
And I started going on, I went too deep with the conversation. I was like, people
some people might prefer to still have wired ones. But I do have an iPhone 8, so I don't live that life anymore. So Bluetooth is in my eyes the way to go. I really like how this feels. They've got up to 15 hours of charge. And they do.
And it tells you as well.
And it tells you. So when you turn them off and on, it will say you have approximately, so it said 10 hours as soon as we got them out of the box. So they come pretty much fully charged, which is amazing. And they do have fast charge as well, which is fantastic, because especially with headphones and things like that, you don't want to have to wait, a solid 4 or 5 hours for them to fully charge. So having that fast charge capability is awesome.
Keeping a lot of the stuff simple and similar to other headphones, like having that mute button up there is really good. Like,
I think that is one of the most important things. So there is a microphone mute on there, which is really important. So if I was primarily using it just for listening to music and those kinds of things, if I'm in a meeting and I'm doing other stuff in the background, that's really important, because there's nothing worse than trying to have like a conversation with someone next to you and then realizing that like 30 other people in the conference call heard everything you just said, and having that, nice and easily
on the same size as most other headphones, most gaming headphones. So like that's why I feel really comfortable with that there.
Where that is,
Also, like sneaky mention to the really nice ear padding on the top. Like the actual muffs are really comfortable, as you'd expect. But that top part there, where it goes over the top of your head, feels very different.
It's also designed to be comfortable.
Yeah, very comfortable. Different to any headphone I've ever played with, whether it's Sony, Bose, anyone. It's nice, and it's like a weird silicone, but it's obviously got air in it. Sorry. Really like digging down into that design.
Well, when we, sat down to do an unboxing, I had a quick look online, and there is an amazing picture, which I will insert here, of how many pieces actually goes down into this, which is crazy, crazy cool. So let's put it on and have a go. So, as you can see, Spotify is open, it's listening, so you're tuning it, and it's tuning it up. So I'm not sure if you guys can see that, but you can even see it, how it interacts with your device.
Can't hear Hannah anymore either.
Can't hear me. But, as you turn up the volume, it will show you on your device that the volume is going up and changing.
And there it stopped.
And all of those sorts of things. And there it stopped. And something else that's super helpful in its own right. I wait for new music. Like, I'm the person who actually cares when Spotify notifies me saying that someone's released a new song. I get really excited, and if I cannot listen to that new song from start to finish in its entirety, I get really upset about it. So if I'm on my way to work and I get that notification, John Mayer just released a new song. It's beautiful, highly recommend. I guess I just feel like banger of a tune. Anyway, side note.
Plug John Mayer.
If I got that notification on my way to work, I sat down, I started listening to it, someone arrived, good morning Hannah, how's your weekend been, that kind of thing. Those niceties, I'd have to be like, and I'd naturally take my headphones out to have that conversation. I'm not that rude. But I might forget to hit pause, I might move on to the next part, and then I'll be gutted, right? So the fact that, I think it is 10 seconds or less, that it will just pause. It will pause as soon as you take them off.
I think it was probably like 2-3 seconds.
Yeah, really quick, really intuitive. So it can tell from the fact that you've moved the cups that you're obviously no longer listening and you're needing to give your attention elsewhere. So that's a really, really cool feature, just for that usability, right? And it's all of those little things that make a product, especially a premium product like the Surface headphones and everything in the Surface family. As you guys know, we really love to call out the little things that make it so amazing.
Like the springs in it that keep it straight and nice and pushed up against your ear.
Just incredible, intuitive, nice to use. So let's try some things out, eh? Do you want to give me a call? So these are paired to my phone.
Oh yes, let's do this.
Let's do this, and we'll...
She's like, give them back to me. I want them back now. You've had enough touching.
So you're ringing?
I'm ringing.
And it tells me, it says a call from Fletcher Mayo, which is really cool.
I'm
so
surprised
all I need to do is tap on the headphones. Hello, Fletcher. There we go. Connected.
Hello.
Amazing. Nice
really
and
good
easy.
mic quality as well. Like really good, like you're very clear.
Yeah, and I can. It's quite strange when I wonder, just for testing's sake, you guys can't hear this, so I'm going to turn it right up on my phone to see if I can hear you better. Talk to me. Just hit.
It does. Sorry, I was seeing how much like a noise it'll cancel out with the mic.
Yeah, and I wonder as well, just for example, you're getting those call where people aren't really talking to you. I was gonna see if it would mute you if I put them down.
Oh, okay. Then.
I had something to do to show the people. Call me again. Let's try that again, eh?
Okay. 3, 2, 1. I'm really calling her this
already.
That's cool. That's another cool little
really
detail. So it's just like a.
And it realizes that I'm doing something else now. Great. Call from Fletcher Mayo. There we go.
Oh, were we going to test out again? Have we both forgotten?
Oh, yeah. No, we were going to test out. So if I take these on, if it mutes the call.
Yes, it does.
It does. That's very interesting. So I know that that's really rude. So you can't hear me
I can't hear
this.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Why you do that on a phone call, that's
really
quite
dope.
rude. But if, you know, like...
But if you had to put it down to ask someone next to you.
Yeah.
Like, you know, we get calls from people all the time.
Absolutely. That's amazing.
That's
okay,
great.
instead of having to like awkwardly cover it and hoping that it's actually worked, I think that that's very, very cool.
That's awesome.
That is
I
very
really
cool.
like that.
I'm glad we tested that out
Yeah.
and that eventually we got there. Okay, and just as well, I just want to decline your call just to show that as
one more call.
One more call.
I've called Hannah since we've had this nearly 20 times.
Needy.
You can tell we've been testing all sorts out.
Alright, call from Fletcher Mayer. I want to test that I can do it on both sides as well. Boom. Gone.
I was like, no, it answered. No, it isn't. It's Hannah's
Classic.
voicemail.
I'm so happy with these. I feel so comfortable. I don't think I look ridiculous.
No.
I think they're pretty stylish.
Even if I see
to be
yes,
fair,
would that be the good answer to say?
I don't know. Obviously,
no, it
you
does
guys
actually
can judge
look
us
really
a little
good.
bit. They're noise cancelling. Like, I'm not sure if I'm shouting or not.
No, you're doing good,
but
Bobby.
being able to really easily sort of edit that and have that kind of vibe, I think is very, very cool. I think they're stylish. I think they are practical. I think that they are absolutely worth the money. I'm going to call that out right now. I think that investing in an important pair of headphones, and an important pair, and a good pair is what I was trying to say. Investing in a good pair of headphones, I think, is very life-changing. You know, there's a huge difference, as I'm sure a lot of you guys will know, between a $20 pair and a $200 pair, and even more, and a $500
100%.
pair.
And I think the fact that, you know, this is up on the same level as a lot of premium headphones like the Sony M1s and the AE35s and all that, having that extra functionality really kind of gives it a little bit more excitement.
I'm so happy about this. Like, I knew that I was going to love them, but I love them even more than I thought I was going to love them. And I don't want to give these back now, and I want to have them in my life forever. I think that, you know, even the packaging, even from that unboxing experience, as I said, having the case for them is awesome. And like, it's even, you guys can see, it's slanted. So while it looks after the headphones, it's not going to take up too much room. Like if it was all that thickness, it might be more difficult to put in your bag and all of that kind of thing. So all of those things that work. And I do want to give one more shout out, which I had forgotten, is that these are designed to work with Cortana. So you can hey Cortana and give her those voice commands and stuff. But what I was super surprised about is that when I paired it to my iPhone, it actually worked with Siri as well. So it's not kind of, you know, I think that says something really big in what Microsoft are doing and how we're looking at working across platform and how we want all of our devices to work with the things you want to use and how you want to use them. So the fact that I can use it with Siri as well is super cool. Those touch commands are amazing. The sound quality is beautiful. I always have a few go-to songs to test out a new set of headphones. I've done them and they've passed the test. And it doesn't, you know, sometimes when you turn headphones all the way up, it sounds a bit weird or something like that, but that's cheaper headphones. So as headphones for music, loved them. For phone calls, love them. Practicality of living life and, you know, living in a modern workplace and doing all those stuff, love them. 10 out of 10 review. I'm a happy camper. And I don't want to give these back.
I think it's been a good podcast overall. It's been an exciting one for us to film, getting to get hands-on
with things, try things out, play some games.
Play some long-awaited games for me, so it's absolutely like, it's nice to be, you know, kicking back into the podcast for the year.
Absolutely, so thank you. Welcome back to 2019 with us. I know we're a little bit later than we said, but we really enjoy talking through all of these things. If you guys have any questions as usual, anything else you'd like us to review, there are a lot of new games on Game Pass, so we'll have some more coming at you very soon. But thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you guys next week.